The following program was recorded at ARC Advisory Group's annual World Industry Forum in Orlando, Florida. I'm pleased to welcome ARC Research Director Craig Resnick.
My special guest today is John Keever, who's the founder and Chief Technology Officer of ILS Technology. John, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Craig. It's a pleasure.
Tell me a little bit about ILS Technology.
ILS Technology was started a little over 10 years ago, initially focused on supervisory control and data acquisition and human-machine interface. We also were very focused on the ability to move enterprise data up into the manufacturing enterprise systems from the plant floor, from the various sources of data, logic controllers, sensory devices. And then over time, we also saw the value in being able to provide secure collaboration to allow remote access into these production systems. And we've been very successful at doing that in both secure domains where there's high intellectual property value, high cost of loss, such as semiconductor manufacturing. Now we're looking forward into the future for the Internet of Things to enable machine-to-machine communication so devices of all capabilities have the ability to feed enterprise systems and dashboarding systems that are globally available so businesses can make better decisions more rapidly.
Okay, great. Now I think you know that the theme of the forum this year is all about energy. And so how do you feel ILS Technology solutions contribute to energy and green awareness initiatives?
ILS Technology continues to extend our portfolio of drivers and interfaces, and over the last several years we've extended our support systems, support energy management devices, energy management systems, sub-metering systems, so the capability within the four walls of a plant to cleanly interface to metering systems to allow manufacturers to take a look at where their energy is being used, how their energy is being used, and look at it in a more holistic manner, not just manufacturing automation, but also the entire green perspective and sustainability. This past year, we worked with Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton, Florida, to effectively instrument their new engineering center. And that's becoming a living lab that's available to faculty, to graduate students, and research individuals alike to really understand how a building functions and how optimization may be done going forward.
I think you know today that manufacturers and processes are increasingly depending on their automation suppliers to keep these plants running smoothly through enhanced service offerings. So how is ILS Technology helping OEMs and manufacturers in this regard?
Certainly, Craig. I mean, obviously, ILS Technology has provided the basic connectivity capability that they need, and also now enabling remote access at many levels so that it allows them an open way by which to provide follow-on services, not just to sell an initial automation solution that may help them reach their end goal for a manufacturing automation, but to go beyond that so that they can maintain the systems, so that they can then have building and equipment manufacturers that resell that equipment provide solutions to their customers for remote access and maintainability.
Tell us a little bit about your partnerships and how are your solutions advancing your partners' solutions and offerings to the industry?
Great question, Craig. We have a lot of exciting partnerships at ILS Technology right now. You may have just seen our recent announcements with AT&T of what we're doing in the area of iFacility and iFactory to allow end-to-end integration very cleanly, again, from the device tier, but actually right down to the smartphone level to allow mobility solutions to truly start providing tangible payback very quickly. That's one important relationship that we have. Also, recent announcements with Intel where we're partnering to deliver what we're calling M2M deployment kits so that you really have kind of an M2M solution in a box. It allows a customer to very rapidly prototype, instrument their particular device that they need to instrument, and very quickly plug into an infrastructure network that's globally accessible, and then provide in dashboarding so they can very quickly see tangible results for what they've done, and then let them focus on what they do best. It's kind of the 80-20 rule where they need to focus on that 20% of complexity. We're trying to provide a framework of hardware, networking, and hosting solutions to allow them to get the job done very quickly. And then, of course, our relationships with Mitsubishi Electric, where they are now starting to instrument some of their controls and products with a new support connection framework that's going to allow their customers, both machine manufacturers and end customers alike, to have better maintenance offerings, to provide a clean and efficient connection into that control environment so that they can monitor consumption, monitor faults, and then be able to proactively respond to that in the marketplace.
Great. I think you know, with customer awareness on capital costs and return on investment on service-based initiatives, how does ILS Technology assist in achieving these service goals at an accessible at a, I would say, an acceptable cost point to the customer?
Correct. Very good question. Over the years, we've seen the ability to access capital, invest in expensive capital solutions become more and more challenging. Of course, with the advent of platform as a service computing and cloud computing alternatives, what we're bringing to market now is an offering that allows not only our business partners and customers alike to get started at a lower cost of entry simply by using what they need, kind of a pay-as-you-go and a lower start of entry to get started. So platform as a service, we see a way to do that. Cloud computing obviously provides a well-defined network where there's an economy of scale that many people can come together and then share in that overall cost.
What would you see as like the core benefits to an OEM or an enterprise to utilize ILS technology solutions, let's say over vendor-provided remote management or monitoring solutions?
Very, very good question. Well, clearly, no plant is an island. Every plant is made of many, many heterogeneous systems that come together to affect an end result. It doesn't matter if you're building toaster ovens or, luxury buses. So the challenge there is to be able to, affect a solution that provides a unified way for access. If your subsystem, if your overall system is made up of 8 or 10 subsystems, you don't want 8 or 10 different disparate ways to remotely access those devices. ILS Technology, with our solution and secure collaboration framework, allows a single unified manner to access all of those so that you have one system to understand, one system to manage and work with. It allows for single sign-on, many, many economies of scale.
And one final question. I think we all know what a major concern security is to manufacturers when it comes to OEMs and remote personnel supporting these networks and giving them access to these networks. So how does ILS Technology address these concerns with the remote solutions?
Well, ILS Technology has always taken security very seriously. It's almost like we were doing security before security was cool. But clearly, in the world of integration, you need to be aware of what types of security are needed. There's no one size fits all. Many times, simply the capability for IP-level access management, which is kind of an open or closed statement, is adequate. Okay, there's situations where that makes sense. Obviously, the M10 marketplace, you have all kinds of solutions to affect. But then in more complicated environments where you have very expensive intellectual property, requirements, high cost of loss, you need more controlled management for security where you can actually control what we call application level security. It allows you to effectively control what information is seen by what constituent and what context. So during a down or fault situation, you may allow an OEM support representative to come in and have relatively direct access to specific controls and data within a system. On the other hand, if that system's running efficiently, they would be completely locked out. So it's a context-based, session-defined management infrastructure for secure collaboration. So it provides really a scale of offerings from simple IP go, no-go, all the way to who sees what, when, under what circumstance.
Hey, great. Thanks very much, John. It was a pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you very much. We've been talking to John Keever, founder and chief technology officer of ILS Technology. Thank you very much.